What is going on, everyone? My name is Rex H if you're new to the channel, and here with me is Mr. Lachlan.
Guys?
In today's video, we're going to be installing some coilovers on my 1998 Toyota Camry, which is over here. And this car, for those who don't know, actually started my whole channel. I did all my first modifications on this car. We're talking everything from springs to sway bars to pod filters, everything, because as you all know, it was my first car. And of course, we're going to be taking it to the next level and installing some coilovers from MaXpeedingrods. Massive shout out to them because they actually sent me out these coilovers. They're 24-way adjustable. Before we get on to saying more stuff about them, let's unbox them. Oh!
Swift!
Fresh coilovers, boys. Look at this. Oh! Alright, let's hunt for some stickers. Any stickers?
Better be some stickers.
Better be some stickers, right? Oh! Damn! Dude, these look sick. We haven't even got them out the box yet and it looks good.
Take them out?
Yeah, take them out.
They're pretty heavy.
Damn. For those who don't know MaXpeedingrods, MaXpeedingrods is a pretty well-known brand in the car community. They're actually known for doing some of the cheapest coilovers that you can get on your car. You may have some preconceived ideas about cheap coilovers, but today we're going to be testing to see if those ideas are actually the fact. But I have heard some good things about these coilovers from a lot of people. A lot of people actually run these on many of their race cars. So of course, these coilovers again are for my 1998 Toyota Camry. All the specifications are going to be linked in the description below, as well as a coupon code. You can type in, I think it's REXH, and that'll give you a 9% discount, all store-wide on any orders over $300. Back in the past as well, when I was looking to get some coilovers for my 1998 Toyota Camry when I was first modifying my car, it was actually really hard to get them. You'd have to order them from the United States, and that would cost a lot of money. But luckily, MaXpeedingrods has an Australian warehouse. So I actually got these coilovers sent over 3 days ago, and they came in 3 days. So if you want to head over to au.maxpeedingrods.com, you'll be able to get these coilovers pretty quickly, especially if you're in Australia. They deliver within 24 hours of your order. Let's get to installing these coilovers. I'm super excited to finally slam the Camry. Anyway guys, I hope you can feel the excitement through this video because we've been waiting to slam this Camry for a long time. I've been wanting to make this car the Slamry for so long. Shout out to Slamry on Instagram. I don't know if it's still called that, but guys, this car is going to be so low after we're done. But we are also able to control how stiff these are with, of course, the dampening adjustments on the top, which is really helpful because we'll be able to change them up whenever we want. So if we go to the track in the Camry, which would be pretty damn funny, we'll be able to set the suspension up perfectly to take the corners really good. So if you don't already know, I currently have springs installed on the Camry, so I pretty much know exactly how to remove the suspension and put it all back together. It shouldn't be that difficult. We do need to remove the rear seats. I'm going to start jacking up the front of the car. Lachlan is going to start removing the seats from the back, and we should have this done in no longer than 2 hours, I reckon. It's probably going to be quicker if I didn't have to film this video, but I'm super excited to do this. Let's go. So as you saw in that cinematic, we went ahead and measured all 4 corners of the Camry. We got measurements, and I'll quickly show you. All right, so we have the front and the rear measurements, measuring at 68 centimeters at the front and 67.5 at the back. And because we're on lowering springs, it's pretty consistent all round. So we haven't had an issue with these lowering springs, but obviously we do want to put the coilovers in. We also have Mr. Marcus
in the
house. Get you to plug your Instagram, dude.
Marcus Belt Visuals, get at it.
Give him a follow. He took some photos of my car on my Instagram as well. Turned out mint. We also removed the back seat of the Camry as well as these long pillars here, and that gives us access to the top bolts over here. So you can see that there's 3 bolts right there. So all we really need to do is remove the wheel, remove the 2 bolts and the sway bar link, and everything should just come out when we remove the 3 bolts at the top. We finally have the wheel off the car, and for whoever decided to torque these lug nuts on, didn't know what the hell they were doing because they obviously got the dugga and did too many duggas. because it did not come off. I had to use a cheater bar as well as my long little bar over here. So that was not fun at all. But now you guys can get a proper look at what we actually have to deal with here. It's really easy. All we need to do is disconnect this brake line from the bracket. We need to disconnect this sway bar link. And then we need to take these 2 bolts out, 3 bolts up the top, up here, and the whole stock suspension will come out the back. We're gonna do the backs first and then the fronts, but yeah, really easy. So we've managed to take everything out of here. We've taken off the sway bar link, the brake line. We've also had to take off this 10 millimeter bolt. I think that's the speed sensor. Marcus is over here taking off some really tough bolts.
Mangled bolts.
And the reason why it's taking so long is because we've got this Benke MR2 in my driveway. Lachlan is working on the Benke, so he's taking half the tools. There you go, 12 or 14 mils, those 3 bolts, and then everything should just come out. We're gonna try to remove the shock now, and Marcus is gonna try to catch the shock as I remove the 3 bolts from the top.
Try to.
Oh shit.
Drop out and pop out.
Oh, yes.
Success!
So this is a back right coilover. I'm pretty sure they all have specific placements, but you can see that there is identical points for where the sway bar link goes in, as you can see, and there are points where the brake line can go in. So that's mint. We actually have an exact replica, except a coilover version of the stock suspension. Now, a quick tip: if you put the coilovers in and they don't match on both sides, that's because you haven't actually set both the sides at the same height. What you want to do is get both these on the ground as they are and adjust this collar down here to the point where you want your right height to be. Now you can move this collar up and then match it on this side. We're just going to install them as is. We finally have these coilovers into the spot where they're supposed to be. There's 3 bolts at the top holding it in right now. All we need to do is button everything up. You can see that there's quite a big gap between where the stock suspension sat. You can see that the coilover is quite a bit higher, so we're gonna have to move this all up and get it all in. So that should be easy. We were making some crazy progress on the right side, but when we got to this left side and tried to remove the wheel, I found that this bolt right here, this lock nut, is completely circled out. It is completely stripped, so we're not able to actually get this wheel off at all. We're gonna have to tackle this another day. At this point, Lachlan is doing the front. He's just removing all the stuff down here. It's pretty similar to the back. It's as simple as the sway bar link, brake line bolt, the 2 bolts, and the same 3 bolts on top. Literally the same. And over here is the front comparison between the stock suspension and, of course, the coilover. And you can see, again, there is quite a massive difference in the actual length in them. Also, of course, the spring size, you can see that this is going to be giving you a lot more clearance. Hopefully, we can get this in perfectly. And look at this. We even have camber adjustments, boys. So we can, you know, undo these bolts and move this back and forward. Have some negative camber, positive camber. You know, probably not positive because that's kind of stupid. Yeah, looks really good.
No, mate, create a new trend. Yeah, that is definitely a new trend.
Like this, we want wheels like this.
Yeah,
do it. Do it with your hands, like that. Yeah, like that. Yo, so we had some issues actually fitting the wheels, my wheels, onto the car once they had the coilovers installed, because the clearance on the wheel was actually really bad. That's nothing to do with the coilovers, that's just because I have wheels that are really wide. So I went ahead and ordered some spacers, cut forward 3 weeks, and here you go. Picking up from last video, you saw that we couldn't actually fit the wheels with the coilovers on, so I had to purchase some spacers. Now I got some spacers all the way from the United States, so have a look at that, getting stuff from the US for those people that live there. Anyway, we're gonna unbox these. Hopefully they fit, because if they don't, then we're not gonna get the coilovers on for another couple of weeks, but I'm sure they'll fit. Have a look at this, guys. Got myself some spacers. I've actually never ran spacers this large on any of my cars before, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. They're also hub-centric as well, so shouldn't get any sort of vibration. Managed to get these spacers on. Now we're finding the issue of the stock studs actually sticking out too far. So we're gonna have to get the grinder and grind them all the way down so that they're flush with this. Otherwise we're gonna have the wheel touching these and we won't be able to properly sit on this. So. Well guys, I got the spacer on pretty successfully. I had to grind those things that are, what are they called, the thread bits that stick out and get screwed onto. And have a look at this fitment, guys. Oh, gonna have a little bit of a pokey boy there. So hopefully it comes up into the guard a little bit better when it's on the ground. But let's get the other side done, get the coilovers on properly and get the car on the ground and have a test drive because I'm super excited to do that. Still need to lower the front, but we'll do that later. Okay, you can see that I've got everything on, spacer, sway bar hooked up and everything hooked up around here. Everything is perfect, ready to go. We just need to get the car on the ground and then do these 3 bolts up here. And then the coilover is fully installed. I've already set the height on this side. I still need to go ahead on the front as well. And then I can finally have the car looking really good. So, we have everything finally installed. The wheels are on, spacers are on, and we have Mr. Maxi Boy over here jacking my baby up, and we're gonna lower it and see how much lower we've actually got the back. Grab this one out. All right, Max, you excited, dude?
Ready, boy?
I'm super excited. Here we go. Oh God. Oh, that's so low. Oh, dude. Oh my God. Dude, it's tucking. What the?
Back up again.
Oh, that has to go back. That's way too low. Dude, look at this side. That's crazy.
That is.
Dad, let's get that out. And then I'll do the front because, like, look at this, guys. Look at the front of it right now. There's like a whole fist that you could fit in there. But let's go for a drive and just see, I guess, how it goes. Just see if we can set them in.
Now.
Yeah, may as well, dude. The front is so much higher.
It's like those low riders either. Where it's like,
Damn. Okay, so the car hasn't been started in probably 3 weeks. So let's see how reliable the Camry is. We're just gonna turn the key in and I bet you it's gonna start perfectly. Here you go. Easy. Dude, it looks like it's on stilts at the front and then it's just...
I know, it's like those low rider stuff.
Good. It's good.
Oh! Oh!
When I turn, it's clunky.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
I don't think, yeah, that sounds awful. We'll chase after them anyway.
In the lot.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You ready? Ready? That is.
Oh! I forgot something.
Is that the thing that just went clunk?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go back.
Yeah.
I know what I forgot. I forgot to tighten the rear caliper. Okay, so we finally have the coilovers fully installed and the back fitment is mint. It actually looks really nice. If we have a look over here, you can see it is perfect fitment right there. Like it's tucking. And it's exactly at the point where there's no wheel rub at all because I've rolled my guards and the spacers really bring out the wheel to a nice spot. Now the only issue that I'm currently having is that I can't get this coilover any lower. So this is the max amount of, this is set to the max low setting and I can't get it any lower than that. That's unfortunately as low as we can get it. It's still, you know, a bit of a 3-finger gap or so. I would like it to be as good as the back, but that's just not possible with these coilovers. All in all, not bad at all. Like, especially considering how much these retail for, they're a great coilover for the price. But we're now going to take them on the road and see how they feel. I'm still getting some weird noises, unfortunately, but I guess that's what you get for getting some cheap coilovers.
Hi.
I'm gonna give Nathan a first impressions. All right, you ready for this? How does the ride feel? Oh.
You know, you have wind chimes coming out of your
Okay, guys, put on both of us.
It is.
There is definitely some clunks that we are hearing, and I've installed these perfectly.
You might be able to hear if I stick it in the corner.
They're not really making any sounds now. All right, so ride quality, honestly, it's not that bad. It feels like a coilover on like half stiffness setting. but currently we do have them at the softer setting and they're still quite stiff.
Yeah.
Considering the price of the coilover.
Being in the Camry before with just springs, it's like being on stock suspension versus like proper. I can smell it burning again.
Yeah, I can smell. I think we're having a little bit of a rub issue.
Yeah, I can literally smell like Andrew doing a brake stand coming out of this car somewhere.
So guys, here I am again out here. I'm gonna give you guys a proper honest opinion, a brutally honest opinion on how I feel about these coilovers. Obviously I'm in another outfit because this video is filmed over a couple days. Anyway, let's start off with the cons. Now, talking about fitment at the front, for some reason I don't understand, I can't get these coilovers any lower than this. Like, that is not low enough. I mean, when you get coilovers, you want your car to look perfect, but like, I can't get my car any lower than that. I could get it lower if I set the spring to a really compressed rate. That is not what you want, because then you have an extremely stiff ride. So I can't get the car any lower than that at the front. That's it. That's as low as I can go. I'm just not satisfied with that. Now, the other con here is that there are quite a few clunks coming from the front as well. The spring kind of binds. It's not an issue at all. It's not going to actually affect the performance of the coilover, or it's not dangerous at all. It's just going to give you a couple of sounds here and there when you're at full lock. Again, if you're not too worried about that and you're just doing it for the looks and the feel, then you know, it's not an issue at all. So for the price you're spending, look, it kind of makes sense that they do make those sounds. And let's talk about the pros. The rear fitment on this is perfect. I would not have it any other way. Have a look at that. That is actually perfect. Like, you can't get any better than that. That is proper tucked. I can't even fit a finger in there, and it doesn't even rub. I mean, maybe a tiny bit because of how it is, but that's nothing to do with the coilover. That's just the spacer. But you can see I got this down to a perfect height setting, and you can actually go even lower on the back. It's just a shame that you can't do that on the front, so I can't have like an even sort of setup. I don't know, the rear coilovers as well seem to kind of feel better when you go over bumps and stuff. Like, they feel a little bit more responsive. It's just the front coilovers just aren't as good as the back ones. I don't know why. Also, another pro is ease of installation. These coilovers come very easy to install right out of the box. Everything's right there for you to install them, so you got all those holes and bolts that all line up. So guys, my overall opinion on these MaXpeedingrod coilovers is, look, for the amount of money that you're going to spend, you know, you're looking at like $400 or whatever for the coilovers of these coilovers. And of course, if you use the RexH discount, which I won't get any sort of money for, I just wish the front fitment would be a little bit better. That's the only thing that I have to complain about. I would totally, without a doubt, run these coilovers without any sort of issue if the front fitment was a little bit better. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you want to cop these coilovers or if you've been thinking about them. Price point, not that bad. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you MaXpeedingrods for sending me out your coilovers. Had a great time installing them, had a great time reviewing them, and a good time making this video, of course. So thank you guys so much. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. See you in the next one.